I was talking about how this cost of war, how it compounds over time. You know, the Strait of Hormuz, where I am, it remains closed to shipping traffic, and the U.S. continues to strike targets in Iran. So just by, using weaponry, you deplete stockpiles. And Brandon Daniels does join us from Exiger to discuss this. As we're always talking about supply chains with you, Brandon. I'm curious about this one and how you see it. I mean, that was a huge number that came out, 11 plus billion for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's a staggering figure, and if this continued on, right, you'd have to effectively maintain this pace. This is a war of attrition, Connell, and at the end of the day, this is a circular supply chain. So first, when you're talking about missiles and interceptors, you talked about the Patriot, the Tomahawks, the THAADs, right? All of those weapons, their stockpiles have to be they have to be trafficked into the region. You need to continuously
Right.
replenish them. You need to make sure that you are continuously fixing those pieces. I mean, as you fire those THAAD missiles, as you fire Patriots, you actually have to make repairs to some of the systems that support them. And so it's this like massive
How long does
rush.
that take, Brandon? And sorry to talk over you with the delay, but I'm really curious about this, and for obvious reasons. These interceptor missions, like here in the UAE, we see them every night. Like, say they did run low, like how long would it take to restock?
I mean, there are some parts that are in the supply chain, Connell, that could take anywhere from 300 to 900 days to actually produce. Like that's the production lead time. And so, if you're talking about solid rocket motors, or you're talking about energetics, getting access to those things is hard, and a lot of those have long production lead times. The next thing is if you can even produce them, Connell, because the Strait of Hormuz is closed, you have major delays in logistics and shipping of getting those materials into these production sites. And then you've got the risks of expanding production where you're bringing in lots of net new contractors into defense production.
Hmm.
And then you have the potential of them getting targeted by cyber attacks like we saw on Stryker the other day. So it's a really
Ah.
fragile situation as you continue to ramp the utilization of these weapon systems. Because if this continues for weeks or even months, Connell, you're going to actually have to stand up a new category or new level of the defense industrial base. And the administration has been working on this, for the last
Yeah.
year. But we have decades of lethargy in this area that has to be fixed in order to, continue this kind of pace.
Let me just get a piece of, oh man, some breaking news that just came in. Stand by, Brandon, for a moment. This is from the Associated Press. U.S. Air Force refueling plane has just gone down in Iraq. They're reporting rescue efforts are underway. I don't think we know anything else besides that, but a U.S. Air Force refueling plane was operating in Iraq and it has gone down. The report coming in from the Associated Press. Oh, all right. So we'll see. The cost of war in more ways than one. We're talking economics and supply chains, and then you see the real cost. So let's hope for the best there, obviously. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon
Yeah, pray for
Daniels. We're
those
going to
service
let's
members.
revisit this subject as the absolutely as the war effort continues, and we continue with.